Hello, and welcome to Lower Merion Spotlight. I'm Jamie Snyder. Lower Merion Spotlight shines a light on the people, places, and organizations that help make Lower Merion what it is today. Today we're going to look at Narberth Ambulance. With me today is Chris Flanagan, Superintendent of Radnor Police, Assistant Chief of Gladwyne Fire Company, and last but not least, Chief of Operations for the Narberth Ambulance. Welcome to the show, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much. It's a big honor to be here today.
You're
Thank
welcome. Wow, you really have an impressive resume. You're a man who takes safety seriously. What draws you to community service?
I think it was easy. There was a foundation set by my dad, James C. Flanagan. He started at the Hopewell Volunteer Fire Company, and that set a tone when I was little growing up, watching all that go on. Around 10 years old, we moved to Lower Merion Township in Marion Station on South Narberth Avenue, where I currently reside. And there was a lot of opportunities here in Lower Merion Township and Narberth Borough to get involved in emergency medical services, which was one of my starts, and the fire department. And I loved both of them, and it just grew from there.
Well, clearly it's working because you won the Pennsylvania Department of Health Volunteer of the Year Award too, as far as I have heard.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
As I mentioned, you're Chief of Operations for Narberth Ambulance. Before we get into that, can you tell me what is Narberth Ambulance?
Narberth Ambulance is an unbelievable organization that I've had the honor of serving 34 years at. I held a career position there for a short amount of time and have been a volunteer. During that time, Narberth Ambulance has grown from its humble beginnings to serving all of Lower Merion Township with advanced life support service, basic life support service, rehabilitation services, and a lot of trainings, which we'll talk about later. And we also have grown outside the borders of Lower Merion, but our primary function and service level is to Lower Merion Township and the borough of Narberth. And the organization and the people are some of the best care providers in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We have a medical team that helps oversee this so that our residents here in Lower Merion Township and the borough receive cutting-edge medical technology, where we do basically individual case reviews from serious calls to actually a simple refusal. Putting that all together along with our state-of-the-art equipment, that is how we deliver services to Lower Merion Township.
Very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of Narberth Ambulance?
I think it's important to get a little piece of history every time you see an organization of that size. Our foundation was started by volunteers who wanted to assist in the late 30s, and we were incorporated in 1944. They wanted to serve the community by helping bring the war veterans back. So they would come into the Port of Philadelphia via ship, possibly via air, and the ambulance squad started out helping transport those respective military heroes to various medical facilities. Obviously, we're very rich in medical facilities in the city of Philadelphia and the bordering community. So they started on that way, and they started helping at fairs and other events in Narberth Borough, some in Lower Merion Township. At that time, Lower Merion Police and most across the Commonwealth, a lot of the police departments had what they called wagons, quote unquote, which was usually a Chevy Suburban or Cadillac style thing where they would flip somebody on a stretcher and go as fast as they can, run as fast as they could to the hospital. During that time, California was cutting edge on paramedicine and getting that out, getting that information out across the world. And we, Lower Merion Township and Narberth Ambulance, started having conversations, and in the 80s we began providing advanced life support services in Lower Merion Township and Narberth Borough. With Lower Merion Police, they always respond with us. We have a phenomenal partnership with them. If there's a fire or a vehicle rescue, the Lower Merion Fire Department comes out. But we took over that sort of run and gun concept with patients and beginning bringing ambulances, emergency medical technicians, which is the basic life support level, and then we worked our way into doing advanced life support, providing paramedic services, or as they call it, advanced life support for those calls for service. Currently, we're doing approximately 59 to 6,200 calls a year in Lower Merion Township and Narberth Borough.
Wow, well, thank you for all that information. So why the name Narberth Ambulance? I mean, you serve more than Narberth, right?
When you see our truck speeding by, it's kind of hard to read the name, but it does say Narberth Ambulance. which was our founding location. And we are very grateful to the citizens of Narberth Borough and the Borough Council for letting us live there. But as we talked about, our blueprint, our service level, and the things that we were doing grew, and we outgrew a very small station and ended up moving our headquarters to Ardmore. We found a commercial facility that fit our needs and would house the amount of vehicles we have, training facility, bunk rooms. So we did move there. But if you look on our ambulance, it says Narberth Ambulance of Lower Merion Township. So we have grown, and our coverage area has grown, and we represent both very well, I think.
So is Narberth Ambulance part of Narberth or Lower Merion Township? And also, you're a tax-based service provider, right?
So Narberth Ambulance of Lower Merion, we cover both. So we are a part of both municipalities, and we are located, our headquarters is in Ardmore in Lower Merion Township, and that is where we operate. We do receive funding from Lower Merion Township, but we are not a direct tax-funded service. So we really have to fight to keep our budget true and have our main source of funding is through our call volume. So we bill for service, and then we also do donations. We also run a very large bike race, which is a fundraiser. And then we have a general membership drive that goes out annually. So based on all of those things, we have to stay afloat with that. So on your tax bill in Lower Merion or Narberth, you don't see anything that says, for EMS services. EMS, in case our residents don't know, emergency medical services, but there is no direct line funding for that. We certainly hope to see that one day, because that would make our mission a little bit easier if we had that direct funding. And we're working with our actually state level representatives to local township and borough commissioners and council members.
Great. So Narberth Ambulance only provides emergency medical services, right?
I would say no. We do a lot. So our primary function and our sole mission, which I think is important, we do not worry about anything else but providing great quality care and prompt service to those who visit and live in Lower Merion and Narberth Borough. We also, in the same breath, we provide a lot of community outreach and services. So Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops come and take tours. We have sometimes high school students or college students who will do internships. We have extremely robust AED and CPR service. So we do it for local community groups, 5 residences. They can get together, we'll do that. But we also help companies stay afloat, put AEDs in their buildings. So we have a very professionalized services. We also provide free Narcan training. We also provide Stop the Bleed training. We have Stop the Bleed kits. So we do many more services. And then another thing that we also do is we provide secondary sports standbys and special event standbys. So we do quite a bit of things, but they're all with the medical focus.
Okay. So you mentioned CPR. So are these ongoing classes, or do you have to request them? How does that work?
So you don't just walk in. You would schedule a class on our website, and there's a phone number. There's a specific thing about all those trainings that we provide, and then we would get you scheduled up because it's something you want to be prepared for. We can do it very cost effectively, very efficiently, and we could utilize either our headquarters and then actually our team, because of our commercial work, actually bring our training to you as well. So we do everything and all of the above.
So what are the fees for the classes?
It depends on the size and what you're doing. So Stop the Bleed and the other things we do for free. So what I would suggest you do is based on the size and what you're looking for. You would just call in and we would work it out with you through that.
And about how long is a class?
So most CPR can be done in a couple of hours. So it's not a whole day, but there's more advanced. There's people who need professional certification, so there's more training with that. Narcan can be an individual class. Then some people want to do CPR, maybe Narcan and Stop the Bleed, so that adds time. Our one executive director, Al Davey, actually did a CPR class in a basketball court outside in South Ardmore Park, which I got to watch. So we can take it anywhere, including a basketball court in the middle of a park during the summer. So it is very short blocks we can do, or we can make a whole day of it. And we can get your company trained or 5 neighbors, as I said. So the spectrum is quite big, what we do.
That is such a great resource for the community to have, so the general population could get certified if they needed to as well.
Early CPR intervention has the best chance of sudden cardiac arrest survival. So that and AEDs our defibrillators. They're very, very important, that whole system. So everything working together is important, but we cannot help save lives without people in the community. So it is a joint partnership.
Wow, that's great. It's so great that you guys offer all of that.
And I hope people really take a chance, jump on our website. It's very clearly laid out, or you can just call, and our CPR trainers and AED trainers will get a hold of you and we'll walk you through it. We can even help install the equipment and get you the right AED, so you don't have to worry about it, and we'll walk you through it. The other thing is, if you utilize us and we come, obviously we would come to a medical emergency or a cardiac arrest, we're going to follow up with you, give you some pointers and some constructive criticism to help you through that and make sure you're okay. So it is a really good partnership. I highlight a partnership we have with the Lower Merion School District, where we help them with a significant amount of training to stop the bleed. And this partnership is actually correlated into some, what I would consider, much better outcomes for some serious emergencies that occur, throughout the year.
I love that. Well, Chris, we have to take a break. You've given us a lot of great information so far. But stick around. We're going to learn more about the Narberth Ambulance Corps. I'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Lower Merion Spotlight. I'm Jamie Snyder, and I'm here today with Chris Flanagan, Chief of Operations for the Narberth Ambulance, and we're talking about the Narberth Ambulance Corps. So before we dive back into it, let's learn a little bit about you. How did you get started in the EMS business?
When we moved to Merion Station, I was walking around Narberth, and I kept seeing these ambulances going up and down the streets quite a bit, and I'm like, wow, they're busy. And I had followed, like I said, my father had laid a groundwork for me in volunteerism, and I wanted to come experience this. So I went down to the headquarters, which was then located in Narberth, right by the playground, and I just saw people going on in emergencies, friendly, doing a great job, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I was able to join as a junior member and start my public safety career right there.
Really cool. So where are you from?
So I did grow up in Hopewell, New Jersey, and then when I was around 9, I moved to Merion Station. So I live on South Narberth Avenue in the 500 block right here in Lower Merion Township.
What did you study in school?
At school and I didn't like each other too much, so but by the time I got there, I was involved in EMS and fire, and I knew that's the direction I wanted to go. 34 years into my volunteer career, 25 years into my work career, I would not change a thing. So I made the right decision by getting involved in this phenomenal service.
So here's a little bit of a cliche question. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a fireman, in all honesty.
Wow.
So I wanted to be a fireman, and the EMS career at Narberth Ambulance took me into all the directions that I'm in now. It got me into the firefighting. I worked as a career firefighter at Bromar Fire Company for approximately 7 to 8 years. I left there and became a Radnor Township police officer in Delaware County, and I've worked my way through the ranks there. And I'm currently Superintendent of Police at that institution. And I will tell you directly, and everybody else, I do believe it is because of the skill set, the amount of call volume and the professionalism that I started off with at Narberth Ambulance has carried me to all those jobs. I also was a volunteer at Narberth Fire Company as well. So it has just been it's been a great run, a great career.
So Chris, how long have you been with Narberth Ambulance?
So this is my 34th year,
Wow,
and I've been a chief over 20 years. And I will tell you, it's just, when you work with people like this who are here, career or volunteer, it is phenomenal. And the energy and the passion to bring people who are clinically gonna die unless you do something about it, and to team up with these people and do it is just phenomenal. And they care. We push ourselves. As chief, you will never hear me say that we are the best organization. What I will tell you is we try our best. We continue to learn to do better. any serious call, you could do a little bit more. And it's not just the serious calls. What matters a lot, one of our biggest calls is fall victims in Lower Merion. So we want to take care of the most simple call because it's important to them and it's important to the family. So we always evaluate our calls. We even evaluate patient refusals when somebody doesn't need to go, like at a car accident. We check on all that. We strive to do better. We have a clinical team that's made up of 5 doctors and our clinicians from the field, basic and advanced, where they look at everything. So we have a team of doctors who actually volunteer with us to help make us better and deliver the highest level of care. And I don't know how anybody would think that that's not exciting to be a part of.
I'm sure they do, yeah. So are you having fun? I mean, what draws you to the job?
I love it. It is working with those people, and obviously I do some administrative stuff, which is not fun, but budgeting is not fun. But it's going out on the calls. It is nonstop, and you come together, whether you know every one of our team members or not, and you see volunteers who come in, and I'll talk about volunteerism just a little bit. Is that you don't have to be a medical expert to learn how to do this. You just have to want to take care of people and have a passion for saving lives and treating people with respect. That can carry you if you want to come in and do it. Our career staff is phenomenal, and we get together. You don't know the difference when you see our people in uniform, and we work together as a team. We could have a day where barely anything happens, then we have calls where there's over 30 calls a day. Wow. System-wide, and it's just, you don't know. It could be a mass pileup on the Schuylkill Expressway, a rescue, or it could be a fall victim at the Acme. You just don't know what is going to come in.
I saw on your website that in 2022, you guys dispatched 11,800 911 calls. That is very impressive.
We are a busy EMS agency, which tends to give us a large call volume, which helps learning curve. So the newer the people are with that type of call volume, it makes it easier to learn. Mm-hmm. And we serve Haverford Township, Conshohocken Borough, obviously Lower Merion and Narberth, where we're able to provide those services, and West Conshohocken. So we get a lot going on, and we have a highway running through the center of our town, City Line Avenue, some busy shopping districts. So there is a lot going on in this township.
Okay. So how can a person get involved? Do you need a medical background to be EMS?
No, that's what's exciting, is if you want to get involved career-wise or volunteer-wise, we suggest you come down and meet us. Come talk to our providers. We offer a ride-along so that you can see if it's for you. I strongly suggest people try that first, because you kind of get on television, you see these calls and everything's perfect, but when you have some challenges or some of the goofy things that goes on, right. There are days that are really easy and then there's days that are hard. We want people to get an understanding of that, and it can be stressful. There's some days where it's stressful or people don't make it, and it can be very hard. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to. We have plumbers, we have carpenters, we have students, we have police officers. We have a wide gamut of people who get involved. We have pre-med students. We have people who just want to try it, family members who are like, I'd like to give back to the community. So there is a wide gamut of people who come together. You just have to be willing to do it. So come down, take a tour of the station. If you like the tour, and you're speaking to our amazing team, then do a ride along, see if it's for you. And then if it's for you, we'll get you started. You can join as a volunteer. We take care of your training, get you set up, and then career people, this is a great place to come work. I don't think there's a better place around that you could come work.
Sounds like it. Okay, so let's say you're not a bodily fluid type of person. What are some other ways that people can help out?
Well, I did talk about the administrative side, and there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that goes on. We do have a volunteer advisory board. We have a board of directors. We do some fund drives. So if somebody wants to come help us, we definitely want to meet you, show you around, show you what our needs are. We have some peak times where we need help. We do a large bike race. If somebody wanted to help volunteer and do some work on that day, you could help us out on that day. So there are some other things. I will say that definitely our main function is that EMS provision. But there's some board positions and some administrative stuff that we could potentially have it work out, and see if you wanted to help us.
So the bike race, is that scheduled? Is that something that's coming up that the town should know about?
We have it scheduled each year. It's generally in August. I believe it's August 10th This year, in 2024, it has become a very, very successful event with attendance of up to 7,000 possibly. I mean, I'm no expert at counting, but 7,000. And it's a community day. It is turned into a thing that's focused on supporting this unbelievable organization and helping fund projects. It's literally help buy ambulances, hands down, the fundraising that's going on. And what we've seen also besides fundraising is community awareness about what we do, because we aren't a tax service. We aren't. We have to sell ourselves, and we want people to know that we're there and we're here for you 24/7, 365, holidays, middle of the night, day. If you fall in a ditch, we're going to come get you. If you fall in the schuylkill, we're going to come get you. If you can't breathe, we are going to help try to resuscitate you. So we are out there, but we do desperately count on support, donations from our community, and we're hoping that this video getting out will allow people to have a better understanding of what we do.
Absolutely. Very grateful for everything that you do. So is there anything else you think that people should know that we haven't discussed today?
I think that sometimes you don't really think about needing us because you don't think about having a heart attack or some of the other things, but the faces of the people that we're helping and the faces of the family when they look at us saying, no matter what's going on in my life, no matter how big my house is, how small my house is, what I have going on, those people tell you, do anything you can. Our staff is prepared to do everything in their power because of their excellent training, their constant practice, and more importantly, their dedication to saving lives. So if people can help support us, you can come volunteer, you can donate, you can tell others about us, you can have us come teach you CPR and other things. Do that, help make a difference with us.
That's really great to know. I'm glad to hear that everybody can get involved and there's a way for everyone to help out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're almost out of time, but I wanted to thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today.
Anytime. We're happy to be there. Come down, take a tour. We'd like to walk you around, and then hopefully some of the residents watching will take advantage of this as well.
I would absolutely love to do that. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can find out more information and answers to frequently asked questions on the Narberth Ambulance webpage. I'm Jamie Snyder. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.